Hello everyone, welcome to William and the Magic Box. Today on our show, we are going to have Jeffrey. Jeffrey is from San Francisco in California in the USA. So let's see what Jeffrey has to say. Enjoy the interview. Hello Jeffrey, how are you?
Good, how are you doing?
I'm very well. Thanks so much for taking the time today for the interview. Thank you.
Yeah, welcome. Thanks for reaching out.
How's your day been so far?
Pretty good. It's nice and sunny in San Francisco.
Wow. What's the best part of waking up in San Francisco every morning, in your opinion?
I live in an area called Twin Peaks, which is like the center of the city. So I live on like a mountainside, basically. So I have a view of the whole city when I wake up.
Oh my God, that's beautiful.
Yeah, I feel very lucky.
And San Francisco is the place where you grew up as well? You were born?
I grew up an hour away from San Francisco, but I came to the city like once every other month or so with my parents.
I see. And what do you do for a living?
So I do compliance for the securities company of a bank, which
Wow.
does not sound very exciting, but I love it.
So tell me a little bit about your job.
So I work for like specifically the securities company of the bank, which deals with like buying and selling stocks and bonds and that sort of thing instead of like banking. So my position is to make sure that the bank is following the regulations set forth by the government. So it's a lot of like technical writing. So I get to do like whenever like a new regulation comes out, I get to do like write the new policy that the bank has to follow. So it's really interesting and I love it. I was a flight attendant for 11 years and then did this huge, crazy change to finance 2.5 years ago.
Wow, that's a very totally different area. And of course, absolutely. And I was checking your profile as well, and you are a part-time model as well, photographer model.
Yep.
Tell me a little bit about your career as a model.
Well, it's still pretty new. I only started doing it in June of 2020. So I was mostly just taking pictures of myself in my apartment because of COVID. It's only been really this year that I've been working with like actual photographers and getting a little more into doing that, which has been a lot of fun.
Amazing, very good. Okay, Jeffrey, so before we start our journey, William and the Magic Box, tell me something interesting about yourself.
I guess the flight attendant thing is pretty interesting. I'm also an artist. I do mostly watercolors and acrylics.
Oh, wow. And you've been doing for a long time, a long period.
Yeah, I actually have my college degree is in art. I've been doing it since like middle school, taking a lot of like private art lessons, and then went the art career or the art track in college, and then became a flight attendant, and now I do banking.
A very exciting journey for sure.
Yeah, but I still do a lot of painting on the side.
Amazing. Am I saying your name right, Jeffrey?
Yep, Jeffrey.
Perfect. Okay, Jeffrey, are you ready to go on a beautiful journey through your memories in life and to share your point of views?
Yep.
Welcome to William and the Magic Box. So I have here my friend full of random fun questions, okay? I'm just gonna play a song now just for us to move a little bit before the first question, okay?
Okay.
Let's do it. Okay, Jeffrey, so just before we start the game, through the journey, if there is a question that you don't want to talk about for some reason, you don't want to answer, I always can change, okay? It's all very friendly.
Okay.
First question for you is, what made you laugh last time? Something genuinely.
See, I've been watching this interesting show on Netflix called Kotaro Lives Alone.
Right.
It's a Japanese anime about this 4-year-old boy who like lives on his own in an apartment with a bunch of like kooky characters. It's very I don't know, touching and heartfelt and a little sad, but it has really genuinely funny moments, and it's a good show that I recommend.
And it's a new show on Netflix or something already old?
Yeah, it's pretty new, I think. I don't know exactly when it came out, but newer.
I see. Good. Next question. Let's do it.
Okay.
Okay, Jeffrey from San Francisco. Next question is, what is the best advice have you ever received?
I think is when I was a flight attendant, I got this, like a brand new flight attendant. The advice I got was that, you know, when someone's having a bad day and they're yelling at you and screaming at you, it's never really about you. It's about what's happening to them. And so you don't really know what's going on with someone. Like, you know, their father could have just passed away, or they could be, you know, just gotten some really bad news about something else. I mean, whatever it is, like, them yelling at you is not about what you're doing, it's about them. And so once I thought that was really good advice, just kind of, you know, for being a flight attendant, but also just in life. Like, people's actions are generally about what's going on with them.
Totally agree with you. I think it's a very good point you said now. Those when you know that, it's funny. It's very interesting because when you know that, you approach those situations in a different way. Do you know what I mean? And I think it's a very good point. Also, you saying that. Sometimes when you have very close friends, like very best friends, yeah, and sometimes, you know, sometimes they get mad at you for some reason. They start, you know, like come down on you for some reason, and I see that as a very trust thing, because, you know, our best friends, they, when they come down on us, or they, you know, they throw up on you, all those, you know what I mean, anger, or like something that's not going well with them. So it's a kind of it's a positive thing. It means that they trust you, and something somehow they come, you know what I mean, they feel comfortable or secure to kind of express themselves, their anger away. I think it's a very interesting point for sure. Good advice. Next question. Jeffrey, before the next question, as I could see how much you love your job right now, what do you like the most? What makes you go to work, like think, oh my God, I'm so glad I'm going to work because of this situation? And also, of course, there's always a challenging part as well. What that will be?
I think part of it is that after being a flight attendant for so long, my job now is completely behind the scenes, and I don't have to talk to anybody, which is really nice. But also, what I love is that it's every day is a new challenge. Like, when I was looking for a new job, I didn't want something that was like the same thing every single day. And so I love that, like, you know, I go to work and like my boss gives me this project, and some of it is like more self-directed, so I can kind of look at what's happening, you know, in the world, and especially, you know, with my company, and say, oh, this sort of, you know, there's a gap here that needs to be filled, and so I can like write policy to fill that gap. And so I like that it's just different every day.
Very good. Next question is, what makes you most proud?
I think that would be my art. I'm really proud of the work that I do. I mostly do like abstracts. So I've been experimenting more with watercolor than acrylic lately, but I do mixed media, and I've been working on a new series of paintings where I will do like a background, and then I'll physically raise layers of watercolor paintings off of it, so you get like depth as you're looking into the painting. And I've been working on a series of, I want to do probably like 15 or 20 of those, and then try to go out and get into some galleries.
Wow.
I used to do quite a few art shows, and have been lazy the past couple of years, plus the pandemic. So I want to like kind of get myself back out into the art world.
Amazing, Jeffrey. And saying that, if you could pick just one, your favorite piece of art that you created, that you've done, which one that would be? And if you have around you, if you could show.
Yeah, I actually have it. In 1 second. This is actually the latest painting that I did.
Oh my God. Wow, that's beautiful. Tell me the story behind.
So this one's called Radiant. And I don't know, it's like, my painting is mostly about like kind of, I call it like a crystallized emotion. And
Okay.
so this one, I don't know, it's like a whole jumble of colors, but
Right.
everything works together very harmoniously. And so it's just kind of like, I don't know how thoughts work. Like you have all these different random thoughts that pop up in your head, but they all are you, and they come together in these like kind of rings of thought.
That's beautiful, Jeffrey. My God. Wow, amazing. Very unique. Wow. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Thanks for showing. Thank you. My goodness, beautiful.
Yeah, it's one of those rare paintings where I had that vision in my head and it came out exactly as I like poked it with. Like it came out of my head onto the page.
And how long does it take for you to since we started, how long does it take to finish this one specific?
That one probably took me about 6 or 8 months.
Wow, beautiful.
Well, I wasn't working on it continuously. It took me a long time.
Wow, very good. Ready for another question?
Yep.
Let's do it. Next question. Okay, Jeffrey, next question is, what do you like to cook the most?
Oh, cooking is another one of my biggest passions.
There we go.
So I love to be really inventive when I cook. I can envision flavors in my head, and so I know how things will taste before I cook them. So I usually make up my own recipes.
Wow.
So I'm not vegan, but actually last Thursday I had a friend over who's vegan, and so it was a fun challenge to make up a whole vegan menu for him. So I made 4 courses. So I started with a avocado citrus soup, and then I made an endive and radish salad. And then the main course was seared tofu with caramelized fennel and a miso white wine garlic sauce and crispy sage leaves. And then for dessert, I made a blackberry sorbet.
You know what? I'm gonna have dinner after this interview, and I'm so hungry right now because of you. That's delicious. Oh my God. And how did you go? Did he enjoy the whole? Of course he did. My goodness, what's that?
Everyone loved it. I don't cook with tofu a lot, so I was a little apprehensive going into it, but it came out really well. I find that, like, for me, like I like experimenting with sauces, especially because I find that like a good sauce will really make or break a dish. And so like the miso white wine garlic sauce was really simple. I just in a frying pan, I put garlic, olive oil, and then white wine and some miso, and just reduced it into like a nice sauce consistency. And it was really excellent on top of the tofu.
Oh,
but that's not my normal cooking. Like normally I'll do like my a signature dish is I'll do lamb with a gorgonzola cream sauce and roasted root vegetables.
Wow.
But I have fun. I love to like see what I have left in the pantry and just like figure something out for dinner.
When I come to San Francisco for the very first time, I'm gonna invite myself to you.
Oh yeah, I love to cook for you. One of my favorite things to do is just to throw dinner parties for my friends. Like they'll come over, I'll make like 3 to 5 courses and just have like a fun night.
Oh my God, I can't wait to come to San Francisco. I can't wait now. My goodness, Jeffrey, just made me hungry now. Amazing. Next question, let's do it. Okay, next question is, what is one thing you won and how did you win it? Something special.
I think a good story for that is how I got my current job at the bank. Because it was an uphill struggle being a flight attendant, trying to do a huge, crazy career change, especially like, when it was interviewing for the job, everyone asked me like, what's a flight attendant with an art degree doing trying to get into finance? And I really wanted to get out of the flight attendant life. And I feel very proud of myself for, justifying me doing this career change and getting the new job. It was not easy.
And what was the biggest challenge for you when you start working this new field? What was the biggest challenge in the beginning for you? You find?
I think just learning an entirely new industry.
Wow.
So when I was still a flight attendant, I worked for an airline that got bought by another airline. And when that happened, I took a job in the office, which is a really amazing experience because I got to help work on the merger. So my main job was helping to write the combined flight attendant manual, and did a whole bunch of like really amazing projects with that. So I was able to kind of leverage that to get the job that I have now, which is very similar, just finance instead of aviation. But I still had to like, I think the hardest part was just getting my foot in the door to, prove to people that yes, I can do this, even though I'm learning a new industry, I have relevant experience that translates.
Amazing. Wow, very good. I think it's good for ourselves to challenge ourselves through our lives in different fields, in different career, because that's what makes it interesting. And those big challenges can always bring beautiful things out of that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
I always say that like, for better or for worse, work is a big part of life, and you might as well enjoy it.
absolutely, totally agree. Next question, Jeffrey from San Francisco. Let's do it.
Yeah.
For the next one, you had a career of 10 years, or as a flight attendant, you said 10 years you had. Tell me a funny or interesting story, or the one that you're never going to forget through your career. And tell me also which place that you visited that you said, oh my God, I'm so thankful for my career as a flight attendant because I got to see this place, if you can share.
So to answer that first, or the second question first, that would be Tokyo. I love Tokyo. It's my favorite city in the world. I go there almost every year for my birthday. I have like a nice little group of friends that lives there. So yeah, it's just like that, being able to go there, regularly and easily was definitely a highlight. I love going there. As for like the story, I have a whole bunch of crazy stories because people do weird things on airplanes. So I think one of my favorite stories is I was working a flight down to Puerto Vallarta, and so my whole career I worked first class. So I was in first class, and this woman from coach comes up to use the first class bathroom, and I said, okay, whatever. I went to the bathroom, and I was preparing the food for first class. And then she opened the door, and she was on her hands and knees with her bare hand up inside the toilet. And she said, I dropped my dentures in the toilet. You have to help me. So I was like, oh God, I don't want to deal with this. So I went to go help her. I gave her some latex gloves and tongs, and she tried to get it out, and she was just bawling her eyes out because she needed her dentures back. So I remembered that I was working with this woman named Karen who'd been a flight attendant for like 30 years. I was like, okay, I'll get Karen. She'll know what to do. So I got Karen. She came up, and Karen said, oh, there's no hope. Just give up. We can't get in the back for you. I was like, oh, it's not helping, Karen. And then Karen went to every first class guest and personally apologized and said, oh, I'm so sorry. That lady up there lost her dentures. You can't use the bathroom up here anymore.
Oh my God.
The lady was like in tears, and I called the captain, and the captain said, oh, we'll just like wait until we get to Mexico and have maintenance there fix it. I was like, oh, I don't know if I want I don't know if I want maintenance to accidentally flush the toilet and break everything, So I learned a lot about how the toilets work. So there's like the toilet bowl, and then the piping kind of curves off to the right, and somewhere after that is where the vacuum happens. So once I learned that, I was able to bend the tongs the right way, and I got them back for her. And she was so appreciative. So I immediately put them in some like vodka and some hot water to try to clean them off. And then give it back to her. And then sometime later in the flight, I went to go check up on her to see how she was doing, and she had put them back in her mouth.
Oh my dear.
Like, ah!
Oh my God, what a situation. Oh my goodness. Thanks for sharing that.
I felt like a hero because I got her dentures back.
Oh my dear, that's so funny, very interesting. It's a challenge as well. My goodness, imagine your way of trying to figure out things out. Oh my goodness. Wow. Amazing. Okay, what is your favorite holiday season of the year and why?
Oh, I think I know you don't celebrate this in Europe, but I love Thanksgiving. It's a very family time in America. My family has never really celebrated Christmas that much. But Thanksgiving has always been like a big family holiday. So like every year we alternate between my parents hosting it and my grandma hosting it. And this is like the one time a year my whole family comes together, and I just love seeing everyone and having a lot of good food.
Amazing. And do you have siblings as well?
I have a half sister who's 20 years older.
Wow, good. Ready for another one?
Yep.
Let's do it. Next question. Okay, Jeffrey, next question is, if you could make up, a school subject, what that would be and why?
Like a subject to teach at school?
Yeah, something new at school that they don't have around, something that I like a brand new school subject, what that would be.
I think that would be like a LGBTQ plus history. That's something that is maybe the briefest touched upon in certain, roundabout ways. I think actually learning like gay, lesbian, trans, history would be really helpful. And it's like it's a part of history that isn't really taught. Like when I was in college, I took a bunch of sociology classes from this teacher that I really just like fell in love with and took all of her classes. But she taught a lot about like hidden histories and like kind of like the history behind the history that we're taught. And that's really interesting to me.
Oh my God, it's something so powerful. I think that imagine kids having this approach about LGBTQ community since young age. I think they would grow, even though they're not, gays or lesbian, I think they would grow up seeing that as such a normal thing. You know what I mean? Such it's normal anyway, but I think the world would be in a different place right now regarding that, because for them it would be like, okay, I've got friends, they are gay. I think for them they wouldn't be even something like different or you know what I mean? It would be like normal. You know what I mean? Imagine those kids having those approach at single very early age. I think would be make a big impacts in the world. You know what I mean? For sure.
Oh yeah, it's like travel. When you like get to experience different people and different culture, it's harder for you to other them and make them the bad guy. Like just learning more about how everyone. I guess it's not gonna sound like great English, but like everyone is people. Like everyone is a person with their own lives and their own experiences and their own culture, and the more you learn about that, the more accepting you become. It's when you're like a very, very insular and only know, your village and your tribe. That's when like it's easier to other people.
Absolutely, because I think imagine educating those people at a young age. You know what I mean? That as an adult, it wouldn't be any trouble, because nowadays always forever always been like that you need to educate, you know what I mean? For example, your parents, when you come out, you need to educate your neighbors or your friends or people around you, at work as well. And there was no need if they had already this information at a young age. I think that wouldn't be a challenge. I think people, they would never like, okay, I don't need to come out as gay because I know I am gay and lesbian or any other. I think there's no way for us. By the way, it's a good point, actually. I think it's maybe one day, you know what I mean? I think nowadays with this technology, people having too much information, I think maybe, I'm sure one day they will have that, maybe in a different way or a different approach, but I think nowadays, actually, you see already those books, like, when they show families, parents, and they show like two men, two ladies together as a family. So it's a soft already gets, introduced to them, to the education. Let's see. Say that.
It's just important just to have more. It's just important to have more exposure, to normalize LGBTQ plus. Like we are normal, but like you have to normalize it for the world.
Normalize something that is already normal, but it's not maybe visible as normal, or there's all other stereotypes around there. But anyway, it's a good point. Saying that, did you always have the support of your family being a gay guy?
Yeah, I feel very lucky that my whole family is very open and loving. So like when I came out, there was no backlash. Like everyone was very, very accepting. They've all met my various boyfriends through the years.
And the day when you came out, did something happen, or you just felt, okay, that's the day, I just feel like comfortable now coming out, or it was just a genuine thing, if you can share?
I didn't come out to my parents until I was 18. You know, it's even, I guess, like assuming or hoping that they will be accepting. It's still nerve-wracking to come out to your parents because like you want their love and acceptance. But my parents are very nonchalant about everything. So when I came out to them over the phone, and it was when the Nintendo Wii was really popular. And so I was talking with them on the phone. I said, "Oh, you know, Mom and Dad, I'm gay." And they paused for a second and said, "Oh, we still love you. We were out shopping for controllers for the Wii the other day, but we couldn't find any. We'll keep looking." And like that was it.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Imagine your shoulders like, okay, I'm already, you know what I mean? It's a nice way. I think all of us, we go through those moments, and you know, of course, not everyone has this, you know, very supportive approach as you did. But I think even though you know that your parents, they're so understanding, so open-minded, so supportive, but there's always this point where you're gonna go like, my God, how is it going to be? How I'm gonna put it out? You know what I mean? Challenge. Next question. And saying that about LGBTQ community, in San Francisco, it's safe to be gay. Do you feel like you can be yourself all the time? The gay community, they are very supportive. The tribes, how do you feel about being gay in San Francisco?
I mean, San Francisco is definitely like one of the gay meccas of the world. So I feel very, you know, especially I love San Francisco, but I feel lucky to be in such an inclusive city. Like there's now a new trans district. So it's like the kind of the gay district is a trans district. So it just makes me feel very proud to live in such a very accepting city. You know, I feel safe walking down the street, holding my boyfriend's hand and being affectionate with him in public. So it's really nice to feel that way, and very lucky because it's definitely not like that everywhere, even in California.
Yeah, very good. Let's go to San Francisco. Let's be gay in San Francisco. Yeah. Next question is, what is the best gift have you ever received, and from whom?
Oh, that's a tough question. See, I think it was actually from an ex-boyfriend. He took me to Tokyo for my birthday, but he was able to use points to get us like first class seats on ANA. So it was, I don't know, it made me feel very special that he like went through all this trouble to like plan the trip and get tickets in first class and everything. Yeah, I'm very much a planner, and so I like to plan everything. And so when someone else kind of takes control of that and plans things, it really means a lot to me because I don't give up that control very easily.
Amazing. Saying that, I can see how much you like Tokyo, Jeffrey. I'll tell you something now. One of the things on my bucket list is to go to Japan. You know, it's something that, you know, as you know, the culture there, I think they are heads of, you know what I mean, the way of approaching life, the way of, you know, interact with people. They're so, you know, they'll look in your eyes. They're so calm, the way they talk and everything. People going to Tokyo for the very first time, yeah? What would be your best piece of advice for them to bring or to do or to see, in your opinion?
I think like Google Maps is definitely a complete necessity because you know, as like organized as Japan is, there's no names on any of the streets and no buildings have addresses that are really visible. And so I don't know how people got around without Google Maps. Like, I just have no idea. Like, and Google is great there because it will tell you which subway lines to take and how to transfer and all that stuff to get to where you're trying to go. So definitely having like when you get there, get a SIM card for your phone so you have internet so you can use Google Maps. Getting around is generally pretty easy because the trains are all in English, at least. So So that's definitely very helpful, but still like trying to find a place is really difficult because it's not like, I don't know how much of a grid system like London has, but like there's just no grid to the streets in Tokyo. It's all just like random going different crazy directions, and it makes no sense. And it's one of the things that I love about the city, because it's just so fun to just like get off on a train station and just walk, because every area is very different than the other areas, and they're kind of known for different things. And so it's fun just to like see what's in this area, because I don't know, like you get lost and wander around for a while.
Did you know that before you went for the first time, or you kind of learned that with your own experience about the Google Maps and to get things?
I definitely learned that through experience going there. The first time I went, it was, I can't remember when it was, must have been like 2012 or 13. So it was kind of before smartphones were really prevalent. Like I don't think I even had a smartphone at that point, and so I didn't. So like I have a friend who lives there, and she got me a hotel for the first night, and then I was going to meet up with her somewhere else, deeper in Tokyo, because I got in at like 10 p.m. And so she told me that the hotel was like up here, but the hotel was actually down here. So I took the train up to here and then had to walk down to here to find the hotel, and it was like midnight, and I was lost, and
Oh my dear.
asked people on the street to help me like get to where I was going, which was amazing because everyone there is just so nice. Like even at midnight, helping some strange white person, they helped me get to the hotel.
And speaking English there, you can see a lot of it's easy to people. You can see people speak English there like easily around.
Oh no one speaks English there.
Oh.
Or if they do, they pretend not to.
Oh my God! Wow.
But like, if you go to like a restaurant, the restaurant will usually have an English menu, or at least like pictures of the food, so you can like point to a picture and order that. So like I don't speak Japanese, but going there so much, I've picked up little bits here and there, so I can like get by. I can't have a conversation, but I can at least like order food and ask where the bathroom is.
Wow, amazing! 3 questions left for you. Okay, let's do it.
Okay.
Okay, Jeffrey from San Francisco. Next question is, do you think your priorities have changed since you were younger?
Yes, definitely. Being a flight attendant in my 20s was a lot of fun. Like I liked, all the travel and, just getting out of home. I loved the aspect of it, and like kind of how unpredictable it was. I could be in like New York one night and then Seattle the next, and like who knows where I'm going to be. But as I've gotten older, now in my 30s, I really value stability, and I like being home, and I like going to bed early and getting up and having breakfast. And so definitely like that priority has changed, where like I still love travel, but I like to travel more on, I guess like I like to plan the travel instead of like someone else, like work dictating where I'm going to go. So that was definitely one thing when I was looking for a new job, that I wanted like a regular schedule, so I can have weekends off and not have to worry where I'm going to be tomorrow.
Did you fly to London a few times through your career as a flight attendant?
I mostly flew domestic, but I have been to London before for fun, and London's a really beautiful city. I'd love to go back and spend more time there.
I see. Good one. 2 questions left. Let's do it. Jeffrey, before the next question, through those 2 years that the world literally went upside down regarding the COVID crisis, personally for you, what COVID crisis brought for you in a positive way, the biggest positive impact in your life, and also the negative one, what that will be?
So positive is, I've had this friend that I've known for 15 years now, like one of my oldest friends, and we've like stayed in contact, but he never liked any of the guys that I dated. And so when I was dating someone, he just wouldn't hang out with me because I meant hanging out with my ex. But we've been friends for a long time. But during COVID, I was single, and I was able to join like a bubble with him and some friends, and so it's really brought us so close over the past couple years. So now like we're best friends, like just completely best friends. I see him almost every day because we work out together. So just like getting closer to him has just been like the best part of the pandemic for me. Like it was so nice to actually, you know, become his best friend for real after being friends for 15 years.
What's his name?
His name is Jacob.
Jacob, you are very lucky.
And he lives like a 5-minute walk away from me, so I go over. Like after this, I go over to his place and work out.
If I knew that, I would invite both of you for the interview together. I'd be amazed to have both of you sharing different situations. And the negative one, what that would be?
I mean, I think just, I don't know, how hard it was on everyone. Like a lot of people died, and especially in America, there's people that still don't take it seriously and, you know, don't get vaccinated. Even some people that I know that I thought were good friends have become anti-vaxxers, and it's like, oh, well, I guess we're not going to be friends anymore.
Yes, I think the COVID crisis, in the end of the crisis, still happened anyway, but it became like a political thing as well. Do you know what I mean? As you said,
Yeah.
people, they start showing the person who they are and the true colors, and I think that it went a different direction somehow. I think it's one of the challenges as well that the COVID crisis brought, for sure.
Yeah, it's sad how politicized everything became when it didn't need to be, and it shouldn't have been.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, next question is, what is the first thing that you think about when you wake up, usually?
Breakfast. I know I'm one of those people where I just have to eat when I wake up. Like in the first hour or something, I just have to make breakfast and eat, or I'm so grumpy the rest of the day. So like usually when I wake up, I'm like, okay, like what am I make for breakfast today? My usual go-to is I'll do like scrambled eggs and toast with peanut butter, but I'll like switch it up sometimes and make something else. So I usually think about breakfast.
Do you consider yourself to be more a night or a day person?
Definitely a morning person. Like I've never really been a night owl. Like I like to go to bed at like 10 o'clock and get up at like 6 and have a nice morning.
Good one. Ready for the last question?
Yep.
Let's do it, Jeffrey. Last one. But before the last question, as you can see how much you're passionate about your art, about your career as an artist. People watch the interview. Would you like to start a career as an artist as well? Do some paintings, show their work. What would be your best piece of advice?
I don't know. I'm not very good at advertising myself. But also I feel like I haven't wanted art to be my main career. Like I'm very grateful to have had the experience of having an art degree and knowing everything I know about art. But I'm also happy having it as a hobby. So I wouldn't mind having some success with it and putting myself, I've had art shows before and sold paintings and I put myself out there. But those have always been a little more serendipitous. Like I met some people who own a bar, and so they wanted to show my art at the bar. So it'll be an adventure for me trying to figure out how to get into actual galleries once I'm ready for that, when I have enough new work.
You know what? You missed the opportunity to do this interview with your art behind you. I'm just
I should have done better.
It's okay. You can do a second one in the future. You're gonna be in your art gallery, your private one, full of art around. So William, you see how I improved now? Last question for you is, what do you think is a good age to start dating and why?
I think, as gay people, we don't get a chance to there's no like positive gay relationship role models growing up. There's all these, like every TV show shows positive heterosexual relationships. And so I feel like there's like I don't know, like a delay in knowing how to date and what a positive relationship looks like being a gay man. So I didn't, I started dating in my early 20s, and I got into a really serious relationship when I was 23, and I was with the guy for 7 years.
Wow.
And it's not something I would necessarily recommend. It works for some people. I felt much more like his parent than his partner. He was only 2 years younger than me, but I don't know. I financially supported us. I did all the cooking and the grocery shopping and the laundry. Like I taught him how to drive a car.
Wow.
Like, so it was. I felt like I had to grow up really fast because I had to be like the adult in the relationship. So I feel like maybe not missed out, but like I didn't get to have a lot of like fun experiences in my 20s because I had to raise my boyfriend.
I love it.
So that was hard. And I felt like trapped for a lot of that because I didn't know how to. It was my first relationship, and I thought, this is just my life. I have to make it work. So I think like dating, yes, from a fairly young age, just to have the experience of knowing how to interact with people. It's all like socializing, like socializing yourself, how to interact with people. But I don't know if I recommend getting into a super serious long-term relationship in your early 20s. Unless it works out, maybe it'll work out for you. Like it was just, I don't know, it was not good. I guess like I learned a lot, so it was positive in that way. But it was also a lot of work and very stressful and not very satisfying a lot of the time.
Bad, I can picture yourself in your after this relationship, the following one. I can picture yourself like when you met this special person, you went like, do you know how to cook? Do you know how to drive? Do you know how that before you start the relationship with the second one? Saying that, Jeffrey, do you think in San Francisco, in a gay community, it's easy to date? Do you think it's quite difficult? Because, as you know, big cities like London, San Francisco, New York, sometimes can be a bit tricky or difficult because there's always, you know what I mean? I think there's so many people in the same place, you know what I mean? There's always like maybe some people looking for the next one, and it's a big challenge. How is San Francisco, in your opinion?
I think it's very similar to what you just said. Like I think it's really difficult to make meaningful connections with people when everyone's just looking for the next connection.
Yeah.
Like you meet up and like you're good enough for now, but there's this hotter guy tomorrow.
Yeah.
And so I don't like the word like settle, but at a certain point you just have to settle for someone who's good enough. And I don't think everyone kind of has that mentality. Like they always want to look for the next thing.
Absolutely. Yep. So then, let's play now the word association game, okay? I'm going to give away some words, and you just tell me one word that comes to your mind. Quick thinking, okay?
Okay.
So, I hope you are enjoying the interview. Before we do the word association game, don't forget to give a like, don't forget to share this video, and also don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Just click on the button right there. Thank you so much and enjoy the word association game. Family.
Parents.
Money.
Banking.
One word for love.
Passion.
How about life?
Challenging.
One word for sex.
It's the first word I thought was love.
Okay. Politics.
Terrible.
Relationship.
I guess the first word I thought of was passion again.
Okay. How about religion?
Fake.
Fear.
Horror.
One word for friendship.
Love again.
One word for desire.
Sex.
Regret.
I think memories.
Success.
Drive.
One word for wish.
Hopeful.
One word for happiness.
Satisfaction.
One word for flight attendant.
Trouble.
After your story that you shared, oh my God, it can be a bit trouble. One word for San Francisco.
Gay.
Actually, I had someone on the show from San Francisco, and he said the same thing as well. Gay, straight away. One word for USA.
Complicated.
Let's pretend now I'm going to meet your best friend Jacob, yes, you said his name. I'm going to meet him for a coffee, and I'm going to ask him, what is the most beautiful thing about Jeffrey, and what's something that he still needs to work on, to improve on? What he would say?
I think he would say my generosity. I really love to take care of people. It's something that it's very important to me. Like I like to show my affection for my friends in different ways. But at the same time, like that's been taken advantage of a lot. And so something I've been seeing a therapist for several years now, and something that I work on is being able to set boundaries. And so like, I can do these nice things for people, but then also say, no, I'm not going to do this. That's too far. And that's been really hard for me to learn.
Yeah, good point. I think you need to find the balance, you know what I mean? To be still yourself, the way you feel good, being helping people, but at the same time as well, to set the boundary until when you can be like that, you know what I mean? Do you see some work in progress?
Oh yeah, it's always a work in progress. I mean, I feel like if someone thinks that they're perfect, they're not.
They're no perfect, for sure. Let's play now Jeffrey and the Magic Box, and you can ask me a question. But before that, let's play the music one more time. Let's do it.
Okay.
Jeffrey, but before you ask me the question, you mentioned before that about you can kind of talk a little bit of Japanese or say words. What's your favorite word in Japanese?
That word, I think it means like forbidden. It's what they say like when you're not supposed to go somewhere. And it's a kinjaro. Like,
it sounds very rash. It sounds very rash. Like, don't.
Yeah.
Jeffrey, you can ask me a question now.
I guess like, how did you start doing this whole like interview YouTube channel?
Right. Interesting. I always had a dream. I always had a dream to be able, dream and fascinate. I always been fascinated as well to be able to, connect with people, see the way people live their lives and like listen to their stories. Saying that, I remember as a teenager back in school, I remember when I started doing the show, I was looking back my memories, and I remember doing this interaction with my colleagues at school. I was like, what's your favorite color? Who is your favorite teacher? It's kind of very basic questions. So I think through my life, when I see people talking about their jobs, about their careers, I always felt so happy when I could see my best friend, close friends saying, oh my God, I do what I love. I was born for that. So for me, I always been fascinated about that. But I was asking this question to myself and I couldn't find an answer. I was like, my God, how is the feeling of you waking up every single day and going to work and feeling like it's not work, feeling like it's a joy, feeling something that you meant to do? Or saying that as well, I believe that all of us, as you're a big example of that, I think all of us, we can do different things in life, different careers, and still be happy and still feel like, okay, I love what I do. I strongly believe that. And I can see as well, your life, you had your, you know what I mean, as a flight attendant, your artist career, and also, the work you're doing right now, finance. I think that's, and you still, I'm sure you can see the joy in all of those careers. And I think that's what I find fascinating. Saying that, I was asking myself this question, and this interaction that I'm doing right now, the Magic Box, it's something, Jeffrey, that it feeds my soul, it feeds my day, it feeds my I go to bed thinking about that. I wake up every morning thinking about that. I'm in the gym running and I'm thinking about the magic box. I'm showering and I'm like, I can't wait to see my next guest, you know what I mean, who is going to be, what they're going to say, and all this interaction. So yes, I think that's the whole idea. It came along in a dark place. I was, when the COVID crisis hit in 2020, all of us were a bit lost. We didn't know what's going on. And I went for a run in the park, and this idea just came along. And I was like, oh my God, that's something that's it meant to be for me. And I'm so happy that I'm able to do that and hear stories, fascinating stories from people around the globe, and people sharing their challenges, their beautiful moments, beautiful memories, things that they enjoy, things that they like to share. And I think that's the whole idea. It's something connect with my personality, something that I was looking for it. I didn't know, what I mean, how I would find my path. And I'm grateful. Besides the sadness of the COVID crisis brought a lot of sadness around the globe, but I believe as well a lot of people it brought a lot of positive, a lot of like great things that they in their lives. And I can say that as well, that it's something that I'm so grateful for this challenge moment in the world, because I found my path, my way, something that I go to bed and I wake up every morning thinking about, and it just makes me very happy. So yeah, that's the whole thing about this journey, the magic box.
It's really beautiful. And COVID was a challenge for everyone, like big challenge. And really, like in life with any challenge, it's kind of how you rise up to that challenge and overcome it and get through it. And everyone found their own way to get through COVID. And so I'm really happy that you found such a huge passion through that. I mean, not easy to do that generally, much less under COVID conditions. So I'm very happy for you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Jeffrey. And I totally agree. I think I remember when the COVID started, I remember on social media, so many people posting like new ideas, or the way they were working, remote work at home, like connect with their friends, family. And I remember, oh my God, how people can be so creative, how we adjust ourselves to challenges in life, to things that happen, and we are just find a way to survive, find a way to to live a different life, a different world. So yeah, I think it's fascinating. And thank you so much for being yourself, for taking the time as well, saying that people nowadays, we are so busy with our life that when somebody take their time for us, I feel always grateful, because I know how the world is right now. We are so busy. Thank you so much. I just hope you enjoy. I just hope you had a good time. I just hope I made your day differently, like through your, your routine. But before you go, if you can share a positive message or a positive quote, something that you live by.
I think it's a line from one of my favorite songs, which is, no night is so long that stops day from following.
Oh.
And I think about that a lot. Like, I think it's a really beautiful, beautifully written, but also a really powerful message that, like, may seem dark now, but it won't always be that way. Like, day always follows night.
The light will shine sometimes. Somehow the light will come. It's the way that life always be, you know what I mean? And we need those dark times as well for us to appreciate the beautiful sunshine and the beautiful rainbow in the end of the challenge, for sure.
Yeah.
And enjoy your workout with Jacob. Say hello from me, and we'll keep in touch, okay?
Yeah, thank you so much. It's great. Thanks a lot for this experience.
Bye-bye. Take care.
Bye.
So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you would like to be part of the show as well, first, subscribe to our channel, and after that, just go to our website, www.williamandthemagicbox.com, and send us a request saying why would you like to be part of the show. And I see you there. Bye-bye. See you next time.